Hello everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just gone into Bitcoin, bigger the CoinsKid crew. So personally, I think that Bitcoin's in a breakout target of a falling wedge with a full retracement to each point of contact. This one being here at 46k and the all-time high just there at around about 69k, isn't it, for Bitcoin? Okay, so obviously I've not got a crystal ball. I can't guarantee that it's going to happen, but at the minute we are still holding the support for this particular scenario. Okay, we've not had the throwback back into this particular pattern just yet. We've broken out into resistance, falling back to support. If we do start to break down and we do start to come back into this pattern, then okay, it's off the table. Okay, and it's exactly the same as I was telling you on the DXY. This bottom chart's a DXY. Okay, the top chart's Bitcoin. I think with Bitcoin you've got this price compression down here, broken out, full back to support. You're going through some kind of ABC correction at the moment for Bitcoin. Okay, so anyone can guess where the bottom is, but one thing I don't want to see is a throwback back into this pattern. If we do start to do something like this, that's bearish, and I think you're going to come down, and you potentially all you got to do is come to your charts, because that's been support, and if we do go through another impulsive move to the downside, this sort of area down here on this trend line would be support for me, where I will be putting bids in, and at the time I'll just tell you where I think that is. Okay, but in a minute I have to respect what Bitcoin's doing, and you are retracing at the moment. You have got 3 black crows just there, which is always a bearish indication of a trend reversal or either a correction. So one thing we're doing just here, we're putting 1 2 3 4 5 waves, so this could be an impulsive move, and right now we're going through some kind of ABC correction back down support before continuing. One thing I don't want to see here for Bitcoin is consistent closes below that weekly 20 EMA, where you start to get compressed and then boom, you drop back into this pattern. Again, that would indicate an impulsive move to the downside. So at the moment I'll always keep you updated with everything I see. Okay, we've got 3 points of contact on resistance, and we've got 3 points of contact on support. So unless we have a throwback, this is your breakout, this is your support, and you're looking to go and get to each point of contact in this big reversal pattern that Bitcoin's actually broken out of. Okay, look at this center line. Okay, this is something I observed. Look at this: resistance became support, then support again, then you lost support, then it was resistance, and you melted through that resistance just there. So that's a very clean break of resistance just there that Bitcoin's done. Like I said to you, wave 3 here is a very powerful wave. You do usually see wave 3s break out key resistance. I think down here we've got this median line of this big falling wedge, which is broken. We've got the 10 EMA, the 20 EMA, and equally we broke this resistance of the falling wedge on the 3rd impulsive wave up, basically. Now we need to confirm it as being impulsive by going through this correction, holding a normal level of support, and then taking out this side. Now this is something you could wait for Bitcoin to absolutely confirm the bottom. This is something I've been saying the whole way up, is we need to see Bitcoin close and get its ass back above that 55 EMA to confirm the bottom. Equally the 10 EMA on the monthly, and equally the 5-day Gaussian time frame, the median line of the 5-day Gaussian. We've not broken either of those yet, so they're 3 key levels of resistance that I want to see Bitcoin break before I can jump up and down and say this is 100% at wave 1, this is 100% at wave 2, and boom, that's your wave 3. Now again, like I've outlined to you so many times, wave 3, which this could possibly be after this ABC correction, wave 2, is the power. It is the power. It is the massive wave which takes out those confirmation statements of the bottom, basically, and confirms them, by breaking them. So it's geared up for it, providing we can hold this support of this correction that we're going through right now for Bitcoin. So I wouldn't be too quick to jump on the the perma bear or the big doomsday crash that everyone's forecasting here for Bitcoin until you start to have some kind of throwback back into this pattern, for Bitcoin. So I'm always trying to find you normal levels of support. So what we got here on the way up, and no one believed me, was these 3 points of contact on the DXY. He was creating these 3 points of contact just there, and I said to you on the 3rd point of contact, we're looking for the DXY to break down. We did. We got the confirmation of resistance just there, just like we got the confirmation of support just there of this breakout, and then boom, and look, we came all the way down to the 1st point of contact, and then the last point of contact. We got the correction, we got the pullback as anticipated just there. So there's no reason why, providing Bitcoin can hold all this support going forward, that we have the full retracement to each point of contact, just like this did on this pullback, basically, because this is obviously the inverse correlation right now for Bitcoin and the DXY. So what I'm looking at for the DXY, like I said to you, I wouldn't necessarily be looking to jump into a short at this point on Bitcoin, because I think that the DXY is running to key resistance of a fib retracement. I went through this with you yesterday. From here to here, we come all the way back up. You're running right now into 0.382 fib. You can clearly see on the way up here we've got the resistance consolidated, and right now we're sort of pushing through this 382 towards it. If this gets resistance again and starts to come back, this is where I anticipate that this B wave could begin. And what we've got is some kind of A, B, and then a C wave drop. Everyone gets really bearish again, but all it is a perfect ABC wave 2 correction for Bitcoin, holding support and then breaking again. So, you know, until we start to fall back into this and lose all this as support, this trend line just there, I've got to, you know, remain in a technical target that Bitcoin's in, equally as I remained in this technical target that this was in on the way down, okay? So it's all about going forward, holding that support and not losing it, okay, for Bitcoin to remain bullish, basically. The minute this sort of breaks down and turns this to resistance, squeaky bum time for another impulsive move to the downside, okay? So let me show you the Elliott wave structure that we're looking at for Bitcoin right now. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame then, there's a bearish count and a bullish count here. I know, you know, a lot of people are looking at this bearish count. You've got the A, you've got the B, you've got the C. It's a kind of regular wave 4 correction that began in June last year. The wave 3 down and then 4. This is still a wave 4. For example, you've been in a wave 4 correction for, which is an anomaly to be honest with you, since June last year. This is the A, this is the B, this is C, and right now you're looking at another impulsive move to the downside in which Bitcoin does something like this. This is a 1, your 2, 3, 4, 5, like that, coming down to this trend line, roughly something like that towards the 10k mark, you know, towards mid-year. Absolutely possible, you know, and if Bitcoin does start to fall through this support, you know, and does start to come back down here and as a throwback and does something like that and loses this green ascending level support and equally this red trend line turns into resistance, then yeah, that's looking pretty likely. But at the minute, I think what you're doing is, you know, there's a bullish count, there's 2 bullish counts that I'm looking at for Bitcoin that are confirming this break, okay? So within this count, we've got the massive third wave here for Bitcoin, okay? That huge third wave that took out this resistance, this support that was back tested. Look at that previous support that was lost. You sort of melted through it, didn't you? And that's what you usually do on a wave 3. You absolutely pounce through resistance right now, and we've done that. And equally, you know, we've got this massive break trend line and boom, we're coming back to its support. So there's 2 bullish counts here, you know, that confirming this beautiful break to the upside. There's 2, and I don't see anyone else talking about the other one, and there's a bit of confluence to the other one as well, which I'm going to show you is a possible scenario that this actually might be the C wave that we're in right now, and once this finds its feet, the wave up is going to be the wave 3. So right now we've got a 1, we've got a 2, we've got a 3, we've got a 4, we've got a 5, and that's the count that everyone's looking at. And you know, right now we're going through some kind of ABC wave 2 like this. We've got an A, we've got a B, we've got a C. It potentially comes down to this green trend line, finds support, and this ascending level support like this, and then boom, continues to get compressed in here under the 55, and this support coming up, and then boom, we pop to the upside. That's a bullish scenario. So that's the bullish scenario that we're going through: an A, a B, and a C right now. Okay, and the A wave consists of 5 waves: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll bottom soon and we'll begin to come up like that, and the B wave lower high, and then boom, we drop down there. Okay, so again, I would not necessarily be looking to go short at this point right now, because obviously the DXY is running into that key resistance at the minute. We've got the RSI that's coming down in the floor. You never really want to be shorting when you're all the way down here, to be honest with you. You want to be sort of shorting when you're really overextended and really overbought, basically. But anyway, it's a different story. I would not necessarily be looking to short at the moment until you start to lose support and structure, basically, which is something we're not necessarily doing at the moment. So the bullish count obviously is the fact that we're going through an A, B, C wave correction like that, okay? And again, the invalidation of that is if this thing really does start to come down like this and loses all this key support here, start turning into resistance, that's a bearish scenario, okay? And I would expect, okay, we're losing structure, we're losing support, we're losing the trend lines, we're losing previous resistance backtest support, and we're beginning to really break down here for Bitcoin, okay? And it's looking quite nasty, and it will confirm, okay, this is the A, this is the B, this is the C of a wave 4, which is crazy, and then boom, we're coming down. But obviously this is Bitcoin, anything's possible, okay? So I'll always show you what I see. But right now there's another count that no one's talking about, and I found a little bit of confluence to this particular count as well, in the sense that what we've got here is a 1, this is a 2, I do apologise, this is a 3, this is a little 4, and boom, that was your final 5th wave just there. So that was the 1, that was a 2, that was a 3, that was a 4, that's a 5. You actually cooked just there, and at that point what we did, we started to come up and create a bearish divergence from that point as well, with continuation. So this is actually the A wave, this is a B wave, and this is a C wave, and what we're in right now is the end of a C wave. So this is the A wave, this is a B wave, and this is the C wave that you're in right now. Some kind of flat correction, irregular correction, just like this big irregular correction here, the A, the B, and the C for Bitcoin. Okay, so this is a possibility. Now, what's the confluence to that? So what I'm going to do is drop the DXY in here. So go to the top next to Bitcoin, drop the plus in, go to the DXY, new price scale, drop it in. Now you can clearly see here, if I drop a horizontal line in when the DXY bottomed, this is pretty much when the top of that impulsive wave 1 was. Okay, and from there we've been in this A, B, C correction, and ever since then the DXY has been coming up. So the DXY at the minute is kind of running into resistance, where this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves of a potential C wave. This could indeed be the bottom of the correction for Bitcoin, of a wave 2 that began just there. So this would be, let me drop the DXY out just there, that should support where the DXY has begun to come up, and Bitcoin has actually begun a retracement at this point. So there's a bit of confidence lining up with the bottom of the correction in the DXY, where it's coming up in a B wave, and this is the actual wave 2 correction that we're going through for Bitcoin right now. Okay, so at the minute, obviously I can't call it, I don't know what Bitcoin's going to do, but I do think that this is the moment we are in some kind of correction, whether or not this is an ABC here or this is a regular ABC here. Okay, it's going to offer opportunity to come up and take out that high. So this is a bullish scenario in the sense that if we start to see Bitcoin come up and take out that 25392 or whatever it is up here on this local high, that's a very bullish scenario, and it could be an entry point for you if you're sort of sitting on the sidelines for Bitcoin. Okay, but what we do definitely need to see is the DXY make a lower high and begin to come back down, because if it does come back down and sweeps that low that it put in January, I think it was around about the end of January, 1st of Feb, if it does that, if you start to see this structure playing out on the DXY, this means that this is a wave 3. This here, this power will confirm the bottom for me. Take out the 10 EMA on the monthly, take out the 5-day Gaussian channel medium line, and obviously take out the weekly 55 EMA. So it's possible that we are actually in the C wave of an irregular ABC correction that began just there, the start of February, as the DXY bottom just there for Bitcoin. Okay. Absolutely possible. Can't take it off the table. Okay, and obviously the invalidation of that is if the DXY really does take off here and Bitcoin just continues to come down. This is beginning another impulsive move up, and this is beginning another impulsive move down. So, you know, I'm just sort of sitting on the sidelines at the minute. I think the DXY is running into resistance, so I would expect this to start to come up. Now, if this does start to come up, okay, and it takes out that high, then this was an ABC. This is your ABC flat correction. Boom, you're going to take out that high. And it's just something you could wait for, okay, for Bitcoin to play out. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Back to another update on Bitcoin. Bye-bye.